but Brian's going to weigh in on that game, also the 49ers opponent. And we do have to address the Tebow factor, because manning the social booth over here is.
I thought we were going to pretend that didn't happen.
Well, Jeff Maher would like us to pretend that never happened.
Can we not talk about that? It's
No.
Monday. It's bad enough already. Like, you're really rubbing it in here.
Well, I'm just trying to see what they're.
Oh, there's
Ashton,
the other
agrees
Bronco.
with that. You know, Tebow was trending so much last week. Is he just gone now? You're not seeing anything about him?
You know, mainly it's Niners talk leading into this big game, and we're going to get into that in a bit. The first thing I wanted to address with you guys is Martin Luther King Jr. Day and the King Center Imaging Project. This is a really cool project. When he was alive, he was a very busy guy with speeches and writing letters to sitting presidents. And this is the kingcenter.org. Basically, they're putting all the documents, as many as they can, pertaining to him online. So you can go online, you can look at his speeches. What we're looking at here is a speech that he delivered in 1963 at the Lincoln Memorial. And normally with this sort of thing, you have to visit, something like the National Archives in Washington, D.C. To get a look at some of these documents. I wanted to point out some of the words here. This is from his actual speech. He emphasizes the words now. Now is the time to make real promises of democracy. Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of segregation to the sunlit path of racial justice. He capitalizes those words, and that's why he was one of the greatest speech deliverers of our time. So that's a really cool project. Now, back to the Niners game. I wanted to show you guys some video that popped up on YouTube. This is at Bar West. This is a new bar in Midtown. And I assume that this is towards the end of the game when everyone is packed in there. And this is probably right after that Vernon Davis touchdown that everyone just went nuts over. And this is the moment when the clock is ticking, tick, 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 waiting for to see if the Saints, Drew Brees, can do anything at this point. But really, nothing happens. He makes a lateral pass to no avail. And in a second here, you just see this bar erupt. And they know that they've made it. There it goes. Crowd going crazy. Just the typical reaction you would expect from so many Niners fans that are in our area. You see the bartender right there high-fiving people.
Well, Jeff, it's nothing like watching a game with 100 of your best friends.
Right.
Right, screaming and yelling.
Can you
imagine being in there?
Everybody after the win?
Free
drinks?
Oh, I don't know about that. Maybe.
No. Yeah.
But we also posted on the News 10 Facebook page. Go there now, because I want to know, what would you do for a ticket to that game to see the Giants-Niners? Craziest thing you would do. What would you be willing to do? We'll share some of that later in the show.
And we do want to thank Trevor Schultz, who sent that in to us. We appreciate that. That, again, was at Bar West on J Street.
Yep.
Let's get a check in with Mr. Jeff Maher right now. Any Tebow comments, Jeff?
Not Tebow, but that question that
there
I
was
posted,
one,
he just wants to keep bringing that up. Check it, just check. Stupid bet I made. I posted a question on the News 10 Facebook page. What would you do for a ticket to that game, Niners-Giants? One person says, Steph Garcia, tattoo their logo on my body, shave my eyebrows off, whatever. Another person says, I would sing the national anthem in the middle of the mall wearing a hideous bridesmaid's dress. And another person, Jerome Pate, says absolutely nothing. The 49ers haven't done anything in 10 years, and they've had a lucky year.
Ooh, sounds like a Raider fan.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jeff.
Can I just say George Clooney?
That's what we want to
say
talk
George Clooney.
to Jeff Maher about. What
Big
are
fan?
they writing? What are they commenting
Love
more
him.
about? The dresses the women wore?
George Clooney.
Or the men, Brad and
You
George?
want them to be talking about George Clooney for
Yes.
some reason. They're talking about everything, from the awards to the fashion. I'm going to bring up a tweet here. This kind of started off the night. This is Leo, of course, saying, busy night, happy to be here for J. Edgar. Of course, he was just one of the many celebrities that showed up last night. They are talking about George Clooney.
That's not him.
That's not him. I'm actually going to get to that guy in a second. George Clooney was on the stage. There he is. He was actually mocking Brad Pitt, who showed up with a cane. Brad Pitt actually injured his knee when he fell, and so that's one of the funny parts of the show. And another interesting unpredictable part was this guy. This is Uggy the dog. I don't know if you guys got to see The Artist.
He's in it.
Yeah, it's mainly a silent film that won for Best Musical or Comedy. And when this guy went up on the stage with the cast and crew, he stole the show. He was doing flips and tricks.
Nice.
That kind of diverted the attention. And one of the questions that we had, or one of the comments from the News 10 Facebook page about the Golden Globes, was Kimberly Morales saying, while Angelina Jolie's hair, makeup, dress was gorgeous, she looked way too thin and emaciated. So I'm going to bring this up here. You guys tell me what you think. This is a picture of Angelina.
Isn't the word that comes to mind.
I'll stand next to her for reference. You know, what do you think? Does she look all right?
She looks good.
She's beautiful.
I think you're not going to replace Brad as her escort. You're safe. You're safe. Thank you, Jeff. We'll check in with you again.
My grandpa says these potatoes, mashed potatoes, could be dessert. They're that good too.
They are that good.
Oh my word. Okay, break in the chicken.
All right.
Back to you guys.
That's nice.
Yeah. The food, of course, never made it back here. Grandpa Crowley is who she's probably going to blame it on.
Right.
But we know, don't blame Grandpa.
And I've eaten there. It's wonderful.
Good
And
stuff.
reminds you of being in a pub back in Boston, too. Very cool.
De Vere's, that's the spot. Hey, before we check out, we want to check in once again with Jeff Maher, find out what's going on the web, pal.
Just for the record, anytime I've done a food story, I've brought some back for you guys.
You
You guys
have.
know that, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Including Twinkies. Well, people are talking about the 49ers Giants game, of course. We posted a question on the News 10 Facebook page asking, what would you do for a pair of tickets to that game? Just curious. And let's bring up some of these here. Larry Velasquez says, I'd wear every piece of New York Giants gear I own to the game.
Ooh.
That could be a bad idea,
Hope
right,
you
Dan?
can walk out of there.
Dangerous.
That can backfire. Another says, I would get you guys a one-on-one interview with John Huntsman. Well, that might be easier for us to do now.
Kind of lost its value today.
Sorry.
And then lastly, Chelsea Haller says, I would drive down today and wait in line. If you want to give me a task, I'll most likely do that as well.
Wow.
So these people are desperate to get those tickets. By the way, I believe tickets start at $300. So you may want to shell out some cash for that.
That's a little
And we got
pricey.
an email. To be clear, you're not giving away any tickets.
I'm
Jeff.
not. No, I just
Okay.
wanted to know.
I know. I just
what
wanted to be
you
clear
would do.
here.
Yeah. No. If I had tickets, I would be happy to give them away, but I don't.
You would sell them.
You're right. I would sell them, and I'd buy some more Tebow jerseys.
Yeah, well, you could get them a lot cheaper today than you could
Oh
before.
boy.